Let's get to Manchester United now, and Erik ten Hag will be sitting a little bit more comfortably, won't he, today, after receiving backing from the club's hierarchy. United have lost 2 of their opening 3 league games, including a disappointing 3-0 defeat to their great rivals Liverpool at the weekend. Our senior reporter Melissa Reddy has more on this story. Let's go there now live. Melissa, good to see you as always. You were with Dan Ashworth and Omar Barada, weren't you, when they gave Ten Hag their full backing? What was said?
Yes, I spent an hour with Omar Barada and Ashworth on Sunday in the hours ahead of kickoff against Liverpool in the East End boardroom. And they just gave us an overview of their time at the club so far, but in particular, the focus on Erik ten Hag. Now, it was very intriguing to me that Ashworth, who is the sporting director, Barada, the club CEO, so the 2 most senior and powerful football administrators at the club, they had no input into the season review that kept Ten Hag in the job because it preceded their appointment. So it was Sir Jim Ratcliffe, the co-owner, and Sir Dave Brailsford, who went through that process, interviewed a series of managers around Europe and decided to stick with Ten Hag. Now, while they weren't involved in the decision, the pair said that they were very happy with it because they believe Ten Hag is a good manager. What he was lacking was greater knowledge and expertise and daily support around him, which he will now get in this new Ineos-empowered football operation structure. They stress that they have a very good working relationship with him. They enjoyed being on tour with Ten Hag in navigating a transfer window where they really addressed all their key positions that they had targeted, and that they believe the best is still yet to come under this manager and with this team.
OK, he has received a lot of backing, hasn't he, in particular in the transfer market. So with so much change at the club, should a little bit of settling in be expected, do you think?
Certainly. I can understand the frustrations from fans and analysts who are looking at Manchester United and thinking they've still got the same problems as last season, especially in their structure out of possession. When that first press gets beaten, they are so easy to play against because you've got a midfield that's isolated, which was Casemiro. On Sunday, the gaps between midfield and the centre-backs are too huge. The centre-backs not aggressive enough when the ball is lost. And then you've got huge gaps as well between the centre-backs and the full-backs who stay so high and wide. And Liverpool exploited that perfectly, but other opponents are also encouraged to target United in those areas. However, the football operations structure, they're staying pretty calm because they know it's still early days for Ten Hag working within this new structure with that expertise around him, like I've mentioned, but also the fact that he's betting in new signings, and the only one of which went on the US preseason tour was Lenny Yoro, and he picked up a serious injury 33 minutes into the first game. So Xerxes, Mesraoui, De Ligt, Ugarte, who's only just walked through the door, they still need time to acclimatise. So they're looking at it and thinking, well, we weren't going to see a massive change in playing style because the players still need this adjustment period and to acclimatise not just to their new surroundings and to their teammates, but to those demands that Ten Hag wants. Now, while Dan Ashworth and Omar Barada will be analysing Ten Hag based on the summer moving forward, because he's now finally working under this new structure, the reason why there's so much pressure already is because everyone else has the memories of last season fresh in their minds. The fact that United posted their lowest finish in the Premier League. They were dumped out of the Champions League in the group stage. They did finish the campaign strongly by winning the FA Cup, which ultimately kept Ten Hag in the job. But then that season review and how long it lasted, and the fact that United engaged so many coaches, Jamie Carragher made a good point. You don't talk to other managers so openly if you're happy with who you've got currently. And that's why we're in a position where we're 3 games into the new season and it already feels like there is so much noise around Ten Hag's job security.
Yeah, absolutely right. There always is. Just finally, Melissa, you also got some insights into how the club's recruitment works. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, Manchester United underwent 32 transactions this summer. Now, for full insight into all of those and how recruitment will work moving forward under this Ineos-powered leadership, you can go to the Sky Sports website and app, where you can see all Ashworth and Barada's details word for word on that. But just to give you a few highlights, Manchester United finally are working in a very sustainable fashion. They're not pivoting from their valuations on key targets. They're also managing their incomings and outgoings very closely, so they're staying within PSR brackets. They're also, in terms of selling, looking to maybe put down their valuations in pieces, but also add in buyback clauses and sell-ons, which mean not only are they getting the short-term effect of allowing a player to leave, which they've been very bad at doing in the past, but they're banking a good fee and they're also getting future benefits from that with those clauses. And that is now a new process that they're going to work with moving forward. So it's going to be the norm. It hasn't been for ages. United have held on to players that they should have released because they weren't getting as much money for them, or they weren't cute enough in negotiating. And Ashworth's come in and immediately we've seen a big difference in what they've done. Then in terms of the incomings, I think it's been very significant that they've not signed a player over the age of 26. So again, they're looking long term. If you look at all the players they've brought in, physically quite imposing. So they are trying to create a more robust squad. They've also changed the dynamic with some of the profiles they've brought in, which they believe will allow Erik ten Hag to properly implement his system. But the manager already under pressure to show that he can do it, and that has to happen a lot quicker than it has already.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Thank you very much, Melissa, as always. As Melissa was saying, you can find her piece on the Sky Sports website. A really good, interesting piece there for Manchester United fans in particular. No doubt, though, Manchester United will dominate tomorrow's papers. See that on Backpage
now
tonight.
Now to football. And the agent cleared of sending former Chelsea director Marina Granovskaya a threatening email has launched a multi-million-pounds lawsuit against her and the club, which means we bring in our chief reporter, Kaveh Solokol. Right, Kaveh, give us the background to this story, please.
Well, this dispute centres around Kurt Zouma's transfer from Chelsea to West Ham United 3 years ago. Now, Mr. Saif Alrubie is suing Chelsea and the club's former director, Marina Granovskaya, in a claim which has been filed today with the London Commercial Court. Now, in April, Alrubie was cleared unanimously by a jury at Southwark Crown Court of sending Granovskaya a threatening email. And the court heard that Alrubie believed that he had an agreement which would see him be paid a commission if Kurt Zouma moved in a deal which was worth more than 30 million euros. And of course, it has been reported that he actually moved in a deal that was worth 34 million euros. Now, I do have some quotes from Mr. Alrubie today. He says the last 2.5 years have been incredibly difficult. As a fan of Chelsea and having had a productive business relationship with the club over a number of years, I'm saddened that I've been forced to take this step. It's my sincere hope we'll be able to reach a resolution to this issue that is long overdue. And he finishes off by saying, I'm hopeful that Todd Burley, Bedard Egbali, the Chelsea co-owners, and Chelsea will take the action necessary to right this wrong and close this chapter so that all parties can move on.
OK, he wants to move on with some money in his pocket. How much is he suing them for?
Well, I don't know the exact amount. I was at the court case at Southwark Crown Court in April. The jury heard that Mr. Alrubie had asked for a payment of around £300,000. But of course, it came out in the trial that the reported transfer fee was up to €34 million. Now, you will know that agents acting in deals normally get a commission of between 5 and 10%. So this claim could be for anything up to £2.8 million.
Goodness me. All right, any word from Chelsea or Granovskaya yet?
Well, look, we have contacted both Chelsea FC and the representatives of Marina Granovskaya. They have told us that they're not commenting for the time being. I think Chelsea's position would be that this transfer was in August 2021. So it was a time when Chelsea was still owned by Roman Abramovich. It wasn't a time in which the new owners were running the club. So we should make that clear.
Kaveh Solokol, our chief reporter, thank you very much.
Right, we're going to talk about this guy, Cristiano Ronaldo. 900 goals, and next up, he's up against Scotland.
Yeah, 899 more than you, Pete. Look, that's not true. That's not true. I can safely say Pete scored a couple more than that. 900th goal last night against Croatia in a 2-1 victory in the Nations League. That's who Scotland have got to go up against. But let's just take a look at some of the stats. I mean, it's just quite incredible. He's 39 years old. He just keeps on going. First goals for Sporting Lisbon, 7th of October 2002. He scored 2 in a match, and that started off his time. Quick move to Manchester United. The goals of Manchester United broken down into 2 sections, though. Remember, first stint, very positive. Second, less so. Real Madrid, though. Real Madrid, that was his glory time, wasn't it? 450 goals. And so he's on 900 now. Lionel Messi, 867. Must be noted, Lionel Messi is younger than Cristiano Ronaldo. Whether we're going to see Messi try and get himself up. I don't know if he's got the hunger of Ronaldo to score those goals. Ronaldo still wants 1,000, which unofficially have been scored by Pele and Romario, but he likes to refer to the fact that he can watch all of his goals on video. The others, you can't.
Yeah, wonder what he's alluding to there. Now, 30 is considered by, some clubs, some fans, as that's the end of your footballing career, right? Not for this guy.
Broadcasting career as well.
Yeah. Well, I hope not.
We're gone.
Yeah. Me too. 437 goals. I mean, it's almost half his goals after 30, which, again, is unheard of. And, if we're looking at comparisons, you've got Messi and stuff, but we're talking about Erling Haaland now as maybe the next one, certainly with his goal-scoring records. You feel like Erling Haaland's going to potentially score a lot more before he's 30 than Ronaldo's scoring after he's 30. But look, he says that he's got another 100 goals in him. He could be playing the shape he's in till what?
You wouldn't bet against him.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
So you never know. I don't think we've seen the end of Cristiano Ronaldo. He's going nowhere.
Ineos has given Erik ten Hag what he's always wanted at Manchester United. Manchester United now boasts a revamped football structure under Ineos, allowing Erik ten Hag to focus entirely on coaching the team. In just 7 months at the helm, Ineos has shown that the allure of working at Old Trafford remains as strong as ever, despite the club's recent struggles on the pitch. For those behind the scenes, the challenge of restoring United to the pinnacle of English football is clearly irresistible. Sir Jim Ratcliffe made it his mission to recruit the best in class, and he has delivered on that promise. Ineos has brought in Omar Barada from Manchester City and Dan Ashworth from Newcastle United for key roles, while Jason Wilcox left his job as director of football at Southampton to become United's technical director. One of the biggest coups was hiring Sam Erik as interim director of performance, a man who spent 11 years at City, leading their sports science and human performance teams. Erik's track record at City, Tottenham, and the England national team positions him as a valuable asset for United. Erik will play a pivotal role in creating an elite performance environment at Carrington, working closely with the first team and supporting Ten Hag. This is a far cry from the club Ten Hag first encountered in the summer of 2022, which he described as lacking in key areas. Even before Ten Hag's arrival, former manager Ralf Rangnick flagged many of these structural issues, and Ten Hag has since spoken about the culture and standards he inherited. When I arrived at Manchester United, the standards weren't right. That's true, Ten Hag said in the summer of 2023. I demand the highest standards in sleep, recovery, and nutrition because it's crucial for performing at the top level every 3 or 4 days. That's the expectation for every top footballer, and here at United, we're setting those highest standards. Of course, some of that falls on the players, but when you compare United's current infrastructure to what was in place in 2022, it's easy to see why the team was underperforming. John Murtough had just appointed Andy O'Boyle as his deputy, and they were stretched thin. Now, things are vastly different. Ten Hag has the support he needs, both in recruitment and across the board. He speaks with Wilcox almost daily and will now benefit from Erik's expertise in fostering elite environments. In July, Ten Hag spoke about how his role had been streamlined for the better, allowing him to focus more on training, improving players, and refining the team's playing style. Our foundation has been significantly strengthened. A lot has been taken off my plate in terms of scouting and recruitment, which is necessary, he told AD. You need a strong structure for scouting and transfer policy. I'm delighted to have Dan, Ashworth, Jason, Wilcox, and Christopher, Vival, by my side. The club has acquired remarkable knowledge and expertise in the market, which helps me immensely. We've only been working with these new people for a few weeks, but Ashworth is close, just a room away. The new owners have drawn me more into the process. It's early, but the signs are very promising. Since that interview, the support structure around Ten Hag has grown even stronger, freeing him up to focus on what matters most, shaping a team capable of delivering results.